these stupid toys and costumes and comic books and now that.
Welcome, collectors! Today we dive into the fascinating world of comic book collecting and explore the psychology behind this unique hobby. Collecting has always been an important part of human behavior, dating back to when we were hunters and gatherers at the time we needed to collect food to survive.
When you and I were hunter-gatherers.
That's right. Since we no longer need to spend a large part of our day looking for food, we have to fill in this internal requirement with other things, so we collect stuff.
Side note, I do spend a lot of time in my day looking for food.
Good. This need to collect has been seen across different cultures throughout time. But what drives us to collect, in this particular instance, comic books? What motivates someone like us to hunt down the rarest comics and gather them in a single place to observe and enjoy them? The psychology of collecting offers insight into the collector's mind, shedding light on the reasons behind the popular pursuit. We will look at seven psychological reasons why we collect comic books. And it's not because we are insane.
Well, not all of us, completely. I think
that you're insane.
Maybe. But it's funny that you bring up comics, too, because I was thinking about this recently. And that I think I was asking my parents to buy me comic books before I could read.
Me too.
So I was always wondering, like, what was it? Just like bright pictures? Was it this? Was that? So the reasons behind all this is pretty interesting.
It has to be somewhat connected to the fact that you probably watched Batman. And you had a connection with some of Batman and the Hulk. You had a connection with them as TV symbols. And then, I mean, how old were you when you started reading comic books? Was it before?
As soon as I was able to read.
Same here.
Yeah.
I actually, from the time I was in first grade to the time I went through high school probably, I never read a book.
Really?
I only read comic books.
Huh.
I felt that reading a book was wasting me reading a comic book.
Taking up too much comics.
I actually didn't start really reading books until I was in college. So let's look at the 7 reasons. Reason number 1, the thrill of discovery. For many, the main motivation behind collecting is this thrill of discovery. Searching for, finding, and acquiring a desired comic book can be highly satisfying. The moment of adding another comic in a series to your collection definitely brings a sense of accomplishment and a sense of excitement. Unearthing a rare or vintage comic book triggers the pleasure centers of your brain. Biologically, we're getting biological. Pleasures come from a rush of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with reward and pleasure.
Yep. Reward and pleasure. Well, this links directly to our dollar bin searches. Because, again, you're going down into the sort of big mass of things and you don't know what you're going to find. And every now and again, you find something that's really special for a very, very low price. Yeah. And that is absolutely sort of a big dopamine hit.
It's one of my, it's my driving force.
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. Dollar bins are the dopamine source.
Yeah. What did I tell you? It's like therapy. I don't need a therapist. I just need a bunch of dollar bins to go through for 2 or 3 hours. If you've seen some of our past therapy, if you've seen some of our past haul videos, a lot of our haul videos contain the two of us going through dollar bins and finding some interesting keys and some rarer books in a dollar bin.
My entire run of Micronauts.
Yeah, your entire run of Micronauts. I have my entire run of what's the name of them? That I just picked up.
The Avengers?
No, that independent one, Epic.
Oh, Dreadstar.
Dreadstar. My entire Dreadstar run was picked up in a dollar bin at a recent convention, and it's great. I can't beat dollar bin, so get that dopamine, baby. Number 2.
Next T-shirt.
There you go.
Give me that
dopamine.
Feed that dopamine.
Comics equals dopamine. Number 2, nostalgia and connection. Many collectors are driven by nostalgia, seeking comics from their childhood. This plays an important role in the psychology of collecting. This connection to the past provides a sense of comfort and joy. 100% for me. Tapping into emotional ties with characters and storylines. And many collectors are driven by the desire to recapture these memories and experience from their past. A connection to one person's history and the ability to relive our cherished moments is often easily accomplished by collecting items associated with these times. A specific comic book becomes a physical representation of a memory, evoking our emotions and transporting us back in time. The emotional attachment is a very powerful motivator for many collecting behaviors. The sentimental value attached to certain comic books can be incredibly strong. Collectors may associate a special comic book or comic book character with an important life event, a key life milestone, or a special family member that is lost. These comic books become tangible reminders of moments and the people that are dear to us, creating this deep emotional bond. Number 3, escapism and fantasy.
This might be my number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would be good to know.
Yeah.
Much like our need for nostalgia, many comic book collectors continue collecting comics as a form of escapism. Sitting down reading a comic book can help one remove themselves from the trials and tribulations of everyday life. Mm-hmm. The stories, characters, and vibrant artwork transport collectors into fantastical worlds, offering a break from everyday life. Mm-hmm. Everyday life can be challenging, as we all know, and sometimes boring. Looking through the eyes of, say, Spider-Man or Batman for a couple of minutes can help relieve that stress. It definitely works for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've often said that I'm less a collector, more of a reader, though I am a collector. But that escapism part of it is a big, big part of it for me.
Me too.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Since I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's why I love the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
It helps me escape from reality. Number 4. This is the most important one to us here at Collectors Confessions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Community and social bonding. This is probably the most important one for us here at Collectors Confessions. One of our most human needs is the need to belong and to find a community where we are accepted for who we are. And in a world where we are becoming more and more isolated, this becomes way more important.
Well, I mean, we're going to have an interview with the creator of When We Were Trekkies. And that comic is very much about that community sense. Yeah.
That comic is about the building of that community. So, so
look in the future for...
we have an interview scheduled. We've been doing more and more interviews as as we grow. Mm-hmm. The comic book community provides individual collectors with a needed sense of connection and belonging. The shared passion for collecting comic books brings us together as collectors, thus fostering a sense of community, like here at Collectors Confessions.
Sure.
The community creates opportunities for interaction, exchange of ideas, and showcase of collections. Online communities have become a large part of the social aspect of collecting, and this is one of the main reasons we created Collectors Confessions. Mm-hmm. We wanted to set up a place where all collectors would feel welcome and have a place they belong. Much like the comic book collecting is not just an individual pursuit, it's a community-driven hobby. The shared passion creates bonds among collectors, fostering a sense of belonging and camaraderie. Mm-hmm. We wanted to further facilitate the formation of communities where collectors can connect and engage with like-minded individuals. Collectors Confessions served as a virtual meeting place, allowing collectors to share their collections, discuss their passions, and seek advice or assistance.
Yep, you can find that group on Facebook.
The Collectors Confessions YouTube channel is birthed out of our Collectors Confession Facebook page, which has a lot of really awesome people on there and collecting a variety of different things on there. Mm-hmm. So not just comic books, it's a bunch of different things. We collect comic books, but many of our members collect other things.
Lots of different things. Mm-hmm.
Number 5. This is my driving one. Completionist mentality. This is the part where I think we go into mental diseases. The completionist mentality drives collectors to acquire entire series or specific editions, fulfilling a desire for completeness and order. Mm-hmm. This is a driving force for many collectors, including myself. This overwhelming urge to acquire a complete series pushes us to continuously seek out new additions to our collection. This never-ending quest can provide a sense of purpose and direction. See, I'm on a quest.
Yeah, it's a quest. It's
I'm not just buying comic books. I'm on a quest to save the world. Along with this, many collectors also immerse themselves in the necessary knowledge surrounding their comic book titles that they are collecting. Along the way, we become experts on the history, value, and rarity of our comic books. Mm-hmm. Mastery creates a sense of fulfillment and achievement, driving us to accumulate more knowledge and expand our collection even further. It's never ending. This can give us a sense of accomplishment. that we are achieving something in our lives and that we are in fact making progress in our lives. Deep, right?
Yeah, but that also sounds like there's no progress
I
anywhere.
said it was like a mental disease, didn't I?
Ooh.
Well, where else is your life progressing right now? Be realistic. Most progress you have is right here with me every week. Complete is really one of my driving things. I don't buy for number 6. We'll talk about number 6. I buy to have. I don't buy for value.
You're acquiring.
I'm acquiring. So I need to, once I start a series, I need to finish the series.
Right.
And I will do anything I can to finish it.
Yeah.
Number 6 is probably the least for me.
Yeah, mine too.
Is
least important
the most for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, big deal.
Investment and rarity.
Right.
Many comic book collectors see the hobby as an investment. Collectors often view comics as a valuable asset, with some editions gaining substantial worth over time. Rarity adds a layer of exclusivity, driving the desire to possess something unique. Showing off a rare comic or a key issue to other collectors creates a sense of both accomplishment and helps one stand out from everyone else. It creates a sense of uniqueness. There's a value in comic book collecting, both monetary and psychologically. Our comics have value, thus in turn, we have value.
Yeah, that's not that important to me.
Usually.
I mean, I like
more the uniqueness for me than the value.
I like the idea of finding something in my collection and saying, "Oh, that's worth something," and it's kind of interesting. But then I don't sell it.
I don't sell it.
It's still there.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't purchase it because of the value.
Right.
I don't like. I didn't buy. Recently, I purchased the first Prince of Wonder Man. I didn't buy the first Prince of Wonder Man because I think it's going to go up in value because of his appearance in the Marvel Universe. I bought it because I've always liked the character, and I always wanted it. So, yes, for me, value is the least. Uniqueness more in this psychological aspect of it. I like having a unique item,
right?
Not necessarily a valuable one.
And we talked about this in the why did we do this video, where we talked about having the item itself, a physical representation. Yeah, yeah.
I like to read it, and I like to know that I have it. Right. I think in our video when we sat with Chris and Chris talked about his collection.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a big one for Chris too. Yeah. Chris has a lot of very valuable comics in his collection, and he showed us. Check out our one of our collector's showcases. Chris showed us a lot of very valuable DC comics. He doesn't buy them for value. Yeah. He buys them because he's wants to complete the run of
he wants to create all of it. Yeah,
and he wants to own everything. Right. Like that's
all the Green Lantern appearances ever.
He has the disease too. The last one, number 7, personal identity. Comic book collections often reflect a personal interest, value, and identity. Comics serve as a tangible expression of one's unique personality and taste. Comics can also be used to symbolically fill in the gaps of what we are subconsciously looking for in our lives.
Really?
Maybe you collect Superman because subconsciously you want to be a better person.
Oh.
Or maybe it's the Hulk because you want to be stronger. Look at that. Look how we're like doctors now.
Yeah.
We're doctors of comic books. It's basically about being yourself and looking into who you want to become. Comics can be a reflection of both who you are and who you want to be.
The interesting part about that is that
Brian wants to be a micronaut.
If you, well, that's all about childhood.
There you go.
If you want to pay close attention, though, to like the changes in what you buy over years can reflect changes that you've got.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't. I can't say I collect the same things I collected when I was a kid.
I don't. Yeah. See, I think it's been a clear, except for the Micronauts.
Yeah. But you buy a lot more independent and more adult-oriented comic books now. I do not.
Right.
I never grew up. Obviously, the psychology of collecting comic books is multifaceted hobby that involves discovery, nostalgia, investment, community, escapism, completionism, and personal identity. Understanding why we collect comic books can help us better enjoy the hobby and all that it has to offer us. Honestly, the most important aspects of collecting comic books is that it makes you happy. So why do you collect?
Or whatever you collect.
Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. What takes you a couple of seconds goes a long way for us.
Yep.
And remember, love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
We'll see you next time.